All right, welcome back to the Mansdem. Once again, I'm your host, Mark. It's the Herb. Today, I finally got an opportunity to hook up with my boy, Adrian. What handle do you go by on Instagram?
I am at Adrian G. Tall.
All right, and for those who can't tell because of the way we're landing right now, homeboy's got like 4-5 inches on me. He's a tall dude.
What's up?
Tall dude. Baller for life. But I'm giving him a special assignment today, being that it is the day before Kawhi Leonard makes his return to Toronto to receive his championship ring and see how the banner looks in the Scotiabank Arena. We're going to dive into that and discuss the Kawhi effect, compare the teams, and what we expect from tomorrow's game. So I'll jump right into it. Were you surprised when Kawhi chose to leave Toronto?
I don't know. I'm in the media, and I listen to a lot of the media and a lot of the reports, and I was riding with his vehicle. I was with him in the helicopter,
Right.
And I was excited, but I wasn't surprised.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, he just wanted to go home.
Yep. Yeah.
And I don't think people realize this. You need to compare that to somebody with any kind of a job who's working overseas,
Right.
And they're like, this is a great job, but if I can make the same money or more home, then why wouldn't you go home?
It's true. Wasn't upset with them. Wasn't surprised. I want to say I'm disappointed from a selfish standpoint because obviously, you want to run it back. You just won the world championship. You want to have all your key guys back and try it one more time before you blow it up, which hasn't been done. There's one player left, definitely not being blown up. But yeah, from that standpoint of, wanting to kind of get a little dynasty vibe, I was disappointed that he left, but good for him.
Yeah, but I think any true Toronto fan is like, we're good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kawhi. Thanks, Sensei. You have taught us how to win.
Right.
Which we didn't know how to do before.
Right.
Thank you so much. We got it from here.
Okay. So with that in mind, what have you seen from this year's Raptors team that you think players have taken from their experience with Kawhi?
I've seen everything that I thought I would see.
Okay.
I've seen stuff that most people, I shouldn't say most people, but most fair weather fans didn't think was going to happen.
Right.
I knew this season was going to be exciting.
Okay.
I knew that guys like Siakam and OG and Powell on some days, but yes.
And Fred VanVleet.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I knew that they were going to take over because they know how to win.
They've been winning.
They are winners.
They've been winning. Absolutely. Agreed. So now with how they've kind of so my prediction for this season was, well, I thought that Siakam had to take a jump from being a 15-point scorer to a 20-point scorer, which he's done. I thought that Powell, OG, VanVleet, Ibaka, and Gasol, I felt that all of them would have to kind of average between 12 and 15, and Lowry do the 15 to 17 points. A lot of that is happening. I am a little surprised that they've been able to sustain it for so long. Like, are you not so much about Siakam's jump, but VanVleet's jump? Are you surprised at how just reliable and how great a scorer he's become this year?
I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Like it's really nice to watch.
Man.
Especially that stint where Lowry was out
11 games
and VanVleet was in there doing his thing.
Held it down.
I mean, truth be told, I think he had way too many minutes in those games.
Yeah.
I kept saying to myself, when are they going to be taking him out?
Dude, he needs to rest, man.
And they were not giving him rest.
No.
On the flip side, Lowry comes back. He's been back for a while now. But I tell you, that offense that was run by VanVleet, that looked like a better offense than what we're seeing now. I know it's early, and Lowry still needs to get back in it.
They got to get used to him, right.
But that's sort of a little foretelling as to who's going to get the bigger contract. Is it going to be Lowry or VanVleet in the future? And I think VanVleet is the future point guard because he's shown he could do it.
Oh, for sure. So Lowry is already getting his money for next year. He's getting 30-something again for one more year after this. Van Vliet is due a crap load of money, and that's the money that's actually coming off the books with Gasol. So I think that money's his if he wants it here. But I think just to kind of segue back into their schedule and their lineup, I'm not worried that Van Vliet's hurt right now, but I think it serves the purpose of restoring the balance to the lineup, meaning that if we can continue getting what we're getting from Powell right now, then Van Vliet can go back to the bench. And then maybe Nick Nurse goes to the death lineup after halftime with Van Vliet and Lowry starting the second half.
Sure.
But I think him getting hurt right when Lowry gets back makes sense for the Raptors lineup just to kind of get some semblance of balance and what they want to do for the long term of the season.
And guess what? That takes us back to the Kawhi effect.
Right.
Kawhi has shown us it's all about load management. It's all about, hey, let's do our thing. Let's beat the bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get us in a good position for the playoffs. And then we'll take it to everybody. And so that's why I'm not worried with their latest, 3-game losing streak, and then they beat Chicago barely.
Right.
I'm not even worried about that.
Not at all.
Because they need to be healthy.
Right. It's how you're feeling at the end of the season. So what we'll do right now is let's talk about just the lineups in terms of head-to-head. So mainly starters, and we'll get into some of the bench, but let's compare lineups right now. So at the centers, we've got Gasol, we've got Zubac. Who gets the edge in that matchup?
Gasol, because he's just more experienced. And sorry, it is at home. That is why I'm giving Gasol the edge.
Okay.
It is at home. There's an increased energy. You know the stats better than I do. Back in LA at the game we just had, I think Zubac had it over Gasol. Did he not?
It was somewhat even. Zubac did some interesting stuff, but that was a stretch where Gasol wasn't scoring at all. So He's kind of getting into the groove of what he should be doing. He's gonna start putting up, I think, more double-digit scoring games along with everything else that he does. So to his credit, even when his numbers are down, his defense is great. He's still passing the ball, still leading out there. So I agree. I think we have the edge at center position going to power forward. That's Siakam and Montrezl Harrell. Who do you give the edge to? Actually, sorry, Montrez isn't even the starter, is he? He's on the bench.
He's not the starter.
So they're starting Harkless, I believe, is their starting four.
So normally I would give it to Siakam, but I've seen a decline in his game.
Yeah, he's having a bad stretch right now.
So it's like people are D'ing him up, and he's not able to, change his game up.
Right.
He's missing easy shots. I'm not going to give to Harkless. I'm just going to give it as even right there.
All right, that's fair. And I believe we got Kawhi at the 3 and OG at the 3. That could be interesting.
It's interesting, but you give it to Kawhi.
You give it to Kawhi,
right? Yeah. That's not even a question,
right? So now we've got, I guess, Paul George and Norman Powell.
That's Paul George, man.
Okay,
you got the two best defensive players on one team, and they're all stars, and they're future Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
that
is a tall order, absolutely.
Yeah.
At point, who is their point guard anyway? It's not Patrick Beverley starting, is it? Lowry.
I thought it was Beverley starting. No,
maybe that is he starting at the. I think this one goes to Lowry regardless. I don't know who's there, but I feel like Pat Beverley comes off the bench. Bench wise, anyway, we'll name them off. There's Harkless. There's Montrezl Harrell. There's Lou Will. Of course, we know all about Lou Will.
Yeah.
Pat Bev. And those are their mainstay guys. Raptors bench is going to be, Rondé Hustle Jefferson. It's going to be, it's going to be Ibaka, and it's going to be Boucher and the rookie,
Davis.
Terrence Davis.
Yeah.
So I think this is just similar to their matchup in LA. They do match up very well. The difference is this time we're without a key guy, Van Vliet, and they were without Paul George. But I think the lineups still do match up pretty well, and it's going to be about who shows up. But
I think the Raptors win this game. I
Okay.
think they're just going to win on energy alone.
Mm-hmm.
They are sort of taking some teams lightly leading up into this, but this is a big game for them.
I think it is, man.
This is huge.
Yeah.
We've seen any game where everyone is watching, they are in it.
Yeah.
They are going to make it close, and I think they're going to win.
See, so two things. What I've noticed with Kawhi Leonard upon his return to the team that he's been traded from or left, his first game back don't go very well. For example, his first game against San Antonio, he played horrible. Raptors got murdered, but I mean that the end result of the game wasn't his fault, but he didn't play well in San Antonio. This year, he went to San Antonio recently, had another poor game. Played the Raptors for the first time earlier in the year. Didn't have a great game. Again, the Raptors defense held a lot of quality scorers to low outputs on that road trip. So how do you feel he'll do in his first trip to Toronto? Do you think he has a big game?
Well, judging by the trends that you're talking about, I don't think he does well at all.
Okay.
It's kind of like if you're in a fight with someone and the one guy really, really wants to beat you, and you're just like, all right, I just want to get through this game. and I think that's kind of what
that's a Kawhi approach,
right? I think that's what's going to happen. Is he's just like, you know what, I want to put in a good game, but the other team is hungry to take him down, even though there's no real animosity there.
No, can't be.
But when you've got the fans and everyone with you for this game, I don't think he puts up great numbers, because guess what? He didn't put up great numbers up against us in LA, did he?
Nope, they shut him down, man. He had a really tough shooting game, so
they kept double teaming him.
Yeah,
right.
They were on him, and he couldn't get any really clean looks. So I expect more of the same. I mean, Van Vliet helped with that, so missing him is going to be interesting. But Terrence Davis is a guy who's had a chance to step up now. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson didn't play that game either, so there's a couple extra bodies to throw at both him and Paul George. So it'll be interesting. So what I've kind of thought about so far this year with the Raptors is there's already been a few key games where I felt they had to win, because on both sides the teams were thinking if they didn't have Kawhi, we would beat them. So that's Milwaukee Bucks. Raptors lost that game. Bad start. They just lost to the Sixers. Again, they're saying the same thing. If it wasn't for Kawhi, the shot, the Raptors don't win. And now it's the Clippers. So is this game, as far as early season games go, is this game more important to the Raptors than it is to Kawhi, or vice versa? Who do you think wants this game more?
I mean, I think the Raptors want it more.
I think so too.
Especially the way they're sort of going into it. They're kind of losing a little steam. Yeah. And I think they're going to give it everything they got.
Yeah, man. I think this is
I really do.
I think they want this game. They might even need this game, just because in sports, confidence is so funny, right? So with the Bucks, their whole thing all season would have been, what, if the Raptors didn't have Kawhi, we would have won. So when Toronto went to Milwaukee wanted to put it on them and prove that you guys couldn't have beat us without Kawhi. And so I can think that's a confidence booster for them.
Is Golden State saying that?
Golden State's probably saying it too, but
I don't think
they might be saying if you didn't have Van Vliet,
exactly.
Yeah.
You look at that. You look back at that series,
man,
and that was not the Kawhi series.
Yeah.
That was everyone else finally saying, "Thank you, Kawhi.
Yeah.
We now know how to win, and we are going to help you out this series."
Yeah. It's funny with the whole playoffs last year. The only series that I was actually worried about was the Sixers series.
Right.
Like even the Bucks. I don't think the Bucks matched up really well with Toronto and everything that they had to offer last year. So I wasn't so concerned about that series. It was the Sixers series. I thought they had so many weapons, and if Embiid engages himself the whole game, he's a problem. So when it got to Golden State, I wasn't worried about that one, man. So but yeah, they're listing out a bunch of injuries, for their excuse, but whatever. They're not a factor this year at all. So they're not going to get too much talk on this show.
Right.
So you think the Raptors will take the game tomorrow? Kawhi trending in the direction of poor performances against his ex-teams.
Yep. And the something we haven't mentioned is the crowd reaction.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get standing ovations.
Absolutely, and he should.
I don't think anybody's going to be booing him.
No.
If you're going to boo him, you are an idiot. You are a fair weather fan. Exactly. You don't know basketball.
Yeah.
Or you are one of those people that were crying when DeMar DeRozan was let go. Because you didn't understand how basketball works and
what we were getting.
And what we were getting.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of those fans in Toronto.
We do.
Those people that just don't understand.
And it's funny. Those are the people who jumped on the Raptors bandwagon last year. Are if people not leaving him alone was a factor in him leaving. It was the new fans that ran him off, you know what I mean? That were chasing him down at Niagara Falls and all this other stuff, waiting for him outside the hotel, stuff like that. It was new fans that did that, because people who know, it's like he's a ball player. Let him be. He's not on the court. I don't need you right now. You know what I mean? Right. So it was all those new fans that were just getting caught up in the hype. That again, if that was a factor, we don't believe it was, but if that was a factor, it was the new fans that ran him out. So I mean, if anybody does boo him tomorrow night, it's going to be people that just aren't informed and they just want to be someone who can say they booed Kawhi Leonard when he came to Toronto.
It's not happening.
No, he's going to get a great ovation, and he should. I'm looking forward to seeing the video tribute.
I'm looking forward to seeing him get his ring.
Get that ring, get that big fat.
I always wondered, when that was going to happen. I thought maybe they were going to bring the ring to L.A. when they played in L.A.
No, they don't.
They're doing it in Toronto. I think it's cool.
No, they don't do that.
Really?
For a player that's left, they did it that way. The fans, the home fans that you won with, can celebrate with you. That's normal.
Who's the last person that sort of happened that's been really significant that's gotten the ring?
Well, that's the thing. It's really significant guys don't typically lead the team.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So the only person who had a chance to get it was Anderson Varejao. He was traded or cut, whatever, by Cleveland and signed with Golden State, played them in the finals. Cleveland won. They were willing to give him a ring. I don't know if he took it or not, but they were willing to give him a ring. But yeah, typically significant members, especially starters. Like there's been significant role players that have left the team after championship, but never the catalyst. The guy who sets records for the most points scored in a playoff run, things like that. That guy doesn't typically leave the team the next year. So aside from Jordan retiring twice, that doesn't happen. So it's a rare air for Kawhi Leonard as usual, but I definitely think he's going to get a hero's welcome. But what they might do is they are going to honor him during the ring presentation and the tribute, and maybe get on him a little bit during the game, to see if they can throw him out of his comfort and, help the home team pick up the W.
I don't think he's going to throw it out of his comfort.
I don't think that. Well, and I don't think
they're going to keep double teaming him. That's for sure.
That's what they're doing right now. And that's, it's just, you don't want to get beat by one guy, right? That's what they were doing with Harden pretty good last week. And then he just had a strong second half. But, the others stepped up for Harden. You know what I mean? But that's kind of what you got to do. If you get these guys with their signature moves and plays, get to their spots, and they're going to kill you, right? So it's interesting. When Nick Nurse is a smart coach, he's got a lot of different defensive schemes. What I want is just for both teams ready to play. Let's have a good game, front to back, and then see what happens at the end.
At the end of the day, Mark, it's all about who's going to have more energy. I think Toronto is going to have way more energy.
Yep.
And I don't know. I just think they're gonna put it together.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow night, Clippers visit the Raptors. Ring presentation for Kawhi Leonard, and hopefully a dub for the good guys. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Once again, it's the Herb with my boy Adrian. This has been the Mansdem. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Peace out.